Jaws drop and the hearts of car lovers swell, including mine. So after much searching, I was delighted to find one to take for a spin to see if it deserved to be on the pedestal I'd put it on when I was a teenager. Well, it's no secret that a Diablo will get noticed. This particular one caught the attention of the FBI and took investigators on a journey from California to Hawaii, across the country, before finally ending up here in Maryland. It captured the car only after it got to Maryland, and somebody who was on their toes in the police department happened to look at this car and not quite buy the story about the car. Probably one of the alarm bells was the price on the car was at a point where it looked like too good a deal to be true. And we all know what that usually means. After the owner was cleared of any wrongdoing, the car needed to be sold to recoup a laundry list of costs and expenses, while also getting it back to its former glory. To do so, they turned to Chip Miller of Eurostar Auto Gallery outside of Baltimore, an expert in exotic automobiles. When you look at this car, it's timeless in its beauty. The body on this car is as pretty today as it was the day it was built, in my estimation. I have to agree. Even today, the Marcello Gandini designed body still looks more at home in a sci-fi movie than a highway. But the Diablo was much more than just a pretty face. When it debuted in 1990, the 201 mile per hour top speed made it the fastest production car in the world, making the $230,000 to $280,000 price tag seem almost reasonable. Even by today's standards, it's incredibly fast. The Diablo was also a massive sales success for Lamborghini at the time, selling more than 3,000 cars, a big number for the brand. Well, I've waited 20 years to drive a Diablo, and now that I have, what do I think? Well, there's no power steering. The clutch is so heavy that my left leg actually has a cramp. And I have to put it all the way to the floor to make any kind of a smooth gear change, which is pretty hard with this gated shifter. It's as wide as an oil tanker, and on top of everything, there's the noise. It comes from the massive 5.7-liter V12, dishing out 492 horses and 428 pound-feet of torque. It takes about 5 seconds to get the 1.5-ton beast to 60, but it does feel faster than that. Even after driving for several hours, I never felt relaxed behind the wheel. Like if I didn't give it my full attention, it would punish me. Coupled with the driving elements I mentioned and a left leg getting weaker by the minute, you might think I was a little disappointed. But you'd be wrong, because for me, the Diablo is exactly what a supercar should be. Today's consumer has easy access to cars with nearly the same amount of horsepower as the Diablo for less than $40,000. Add this to how easy these modern speedsters are to operate, and the true power, ferocity, and risk can become easily masked. Owners can get a false sense of security, thinking these cars are much easier to handle than they really are. But the Diablo masks nothing. This isn't a car you simply hop into and take for a spin. It's always intimidating and always demands your respect. And that's what I love. It has about as much in common with a family sedan as a camel does with a Preakness racehorse. Police spent nearly 20 years searching for this Diablo, but thankfully, it was found. Because in some ways, it's the last of its kind for Lamborghini and of the supercar. Since Audi took control in 1998, the sensible Germans have smoothed out some of Lamborghini's infamous quirks, and maybe just a little bit of that magic was lost in the process. Lucky for me, the Diablo is as wild and untamed as the legendary Spanish bull that it's named after. And while today's modern supercars are amazing, I'm going to have to keep this one on top of the pedestal where I've had it for the last 20 years.
All right, so I just want to pause it for a minute and just spend about a minute stating what I want to say, and then that'll be a wrap for this particular video. I just decided I had to share this with you guys because I'm a big time Countach and Diablo lover. I love those two Lambos. Those are my personal most favorite Lamborghinis. There's many Lamborghinis. I forgot what it's called. Jay Leno's a huge fan of them. Murata? No. It'll come. I just had it too. It just slipped my mind. Anyways, it'll come to me. But I love all the other previous Lambos as well, from the 60s, 70s. But my personal favorite, most favorite Lambos especially from back in the day, the old school ones are the Countach and the Diablo, the classic vintage retro nostalgic or nostalgia Lambos. Those are my uh, two most favorite Lambos is the Countach and the Diablo. Besides all the new school, all the new Lambos. And when you think about it, Countach has been around for nearly 50 years. Why? Because the first year that the Countach was made was 70, if I'm not mistaken, early 70s. And we're not that far off from 2020. So from 70 to 20 is 50 years. From 1970 to 2020 is 50 years that the Countach was first made, and they're still around. And the Diablo, if I'm not mistaken, the first time, the first year production for that Lambo was 1990. And uh, like I said, we're not too far off from 2020. So that would be 30 years. So it's not just 20 or 25, but 30 years for the Diablo. And, since it's been around. And for the Countach, as much as 50 years. Wow, imagine that. 30 for the Diablo, 50 years for the Countach. It's not just 20 or 25 or 30 or 35 or 40 or 45, but as much as 50 years. So, and Lambo's been around for a lot longer than that, like I've said, since the 60s. So, but yeah, I'm just a huge Lambo fan, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I just thought, hey, I'm watching this awesome program. Why not share this with, my car enthusiasts, my car guys, my car lovers, my gearheads, and all my people. So I guess this video ended up being a 7-minute video. I thought it was going to be only a 5-minute video, but it is what it is. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm a huge Lambo fan. And this particular one is a 97 Lamborghini Diablo VT Roadster. All right, you guys, that's a wrap, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Late.